I'm Catherine Thompson, Technology Analyst at Edison, and I'm here today with Andy Thorburn, CEO of EMIS. He's here today to discuss the company's first half results. But Andy, do you think you could kick off by giving us the highlights of your interims?
Thank you. Delighted to be here to talk about the H1 performance for EMIS. We see it's very positive, so revenue up positively 7% in the period, and adjusted profit, which is our key metric, up 13%, which was particularly pleasing. And also our underlying recurring revenue, which is always very important, has grown 4% in the period, so up to about 79% overall in the revenue. So that's been really, really good. Overall highlights in the period are actually across a range of areas. So we've moved forward in many fronts in parallel. And that's really exciting for us because we've got lots of initiatives. We've been investing heavily in our technology refresh and also innovation. And we're starting to see early signs of those paying off for us. So the highlight is really the breadth of the growth across the group. Particular highlight is Pinnacle, who has been the centre of the immunisation programme for England. So they're a bit of a standout this period, and congratulations to them for the work they've done. But overall, good progress across many fronts.
And could you talk us through your performance on a divisional basis?
So performance in this period on a divisional basis, obviously two areas. We've got, if you like, our traditional EMIS Health, which is dominated by our point of care systems. So EMIS Web in primary care, for example, and we're in community care, accident emergency, that area of our business. So a strong performance there. Revenue didn't move on so much. Profit did, but underlying infrastructure investments going well, further investments in EMIS X, and a lot of good detailed work you can really only see behind the scenes. So our development teams are doing very well. They are moving our agenda forward. What's really important and is exciting is we've got building blocks for the ICS opportunity that's on the horizon. That's very important. So ICS is Integrated Care Systems for England. And we see our role as a leader in that space. And we've been building great capability, which we're excited about. And that will start coming through, we think, in customer engagements in detail fairly soon. So lots of good building blocks, lots of infrastructure, good move forward in profit, solid performance for EMIS Health. So pleased with that. On EMIS Enterprise, very interesting period. So a great bounce back. So that was a part of our business that had the most impact from COVID. But we've bounced back really well. Strong performance both in revenue and adjusted profit this period. And what's most pleasing there is the innovation in EMIS X investments are being completed on time and they're creating new opportunities for us. So we're really pleased with how that's going. And that plays into the growth agenda that is absolutely focused for the company as we move from the technology enablement phase, which we've been in for the last two and a half years, into the monetization of that investment. And that's the absolute focus from myself and the executive team in the company. And we see that growth coming through strongly, we anticipate, over the coming years. So infrastructure investments in EMIS Health, infrastructure innovation in EMIS Enterprise, and an excellent financial performance on the enterprise side and a solid performance on the health side.
And could you give us a progress update on EMIS X and any other new product developments during the period?
Sure. So EMIS X program covers our technology investment. That goes across, if you like, shared capabilities or foundations. It covers interoperability, which is very important and increasingly important in the complex world of care. It's obviously a major part of our connected care strategy. And then we've got the applications that the users see. So that continues and really will be a drumbeat for the years coming forward. So we're going to be constantly innovating, building new capabilities, and also this period investing in some of our existing systems, taking them to the next level. What's exciting is on the EMIS Enterprise side, EMIS X has developed some new capabilities we're very excited about. So, for example, trusted research environment which is a big focus for the research organisations in private sector and also the NHS. And we have developed that capability. It's been live through this year, working on some major research programs. And we're now beginning to talk about that more and show that potential. And we're very excited about that potential going forward. We've also concluded a very important pilot for consenting patients through our digital platform to allow us to work with them on real world evidence associated with life sciences and post-launch of prescription drugs, so they can be monitored and there's real world evidence fed back into life sciences. So we ran a pilot, 30,000 people have signed up to consent, and we'll be taking that now as a national initiative, so that will grow. So we're really excited about that. Another EMIS development on that side is the integration of our patient access capability. This is our digital application with 13 million downloads now, directly integrated with our analytics capability. That gives us new insights. And what's very important in those new insights is that many of our users have agreed to have personalized communications with us and personalized campaigns around their condition. So that's a new capability we built with EMIS over the last, it's been building it for about 18 months, but is now up and running. So just 3 examples of important things. Lots of innovation on the enterprise side. That's where we're going to drive a lot of the growth in the next period, as well as we're doing more infrastructure work on the health side, especially around interoperability and our FHIR capability. This is the standard connection internationally in the UK for data, is bang on track for the year, and that's what we promised when I spoke with our shareholders earlier in the year. So going well, big teams, well focused, lots of positive progress, and that will continue, and we're really happy with how that's progressing.
And how the recently announced boost to NHS funding and the longer term plan to fund social care, how is that likely to affect EMIS?
The backdrop for funding for NHS and social care is really interesting for us. I think the overall pieces is good news for a company like EMIS, is there's clearly continued investment from the government in the we're calling it the post-COVID world. I know it's still with us, but hopefully the emerging post-COVID world with good vaccination program, effectiveness, etc. So we see that as positive. It's always difficult to know how it plays out into real budgets and real projects at this stage. And obviously the recent announcement on social care, while there may be some controversy around the funding method, and that's not something I can comment on, if the money comes into the system, I only see that as positive for the citizens of the UK and also for us, because there will be work to do, there'll be technology deployed, and probably data to be shared. And increasingly we're seeing in this trusted research environment and also EMIS analytics, which we've talked about before, and our interoperability for data with the FHIR capability, we see that's the way that the market and the NHS will work together, private sector market and NHS. And we're very well positioned for what's happening. In fact, we see a lot of the choices we made 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, and what we decided to build playing out really well for us. And we could have really predicted that as tightly actually at that point. We had a general feeling that the data would be really important, and we're seeing that coming through strongly. So overall, I'm not sure how it plays out in the politics, because that's still going on, and also how people feel about the mechanism for raising the money. Again, not for me to comment on. What I can see is overall it should be good for the overall system, and typically we do well when there's new funds come into the system, whether it be NHS or social care.
Great. And finally, could you give us your view on current trading, but also on a longer term basis, how you expect to accelerate growth?
Yeah, so on current trading, we expect to beat board expectations for the year. So we've traded slightly ahead in H1, as we said in our update today, but also in the recent update we had to the market. So that's positive. So obviously a good start to the year. We've got a clear line of sight to get the things done we need to get done. We know exactly what we've got to do. We've been in this position many times since I've been in the seat. We've just got to do the work. So it's a very busy period from us from 1st of September through to Christmas. And the team are very focused on execution. They've done a great job before. I see no reason why they won't continue to do that in this period. So clear line of sight. We expect to meet board expectations, and we're confident in our ability to do that. But work to do, and it's never done till it's done in this job, I can assure you of that. In terms of the outlook, we see growth on the horizon for sure. You know, we're obviously growing good first half, and we expect to grow for the full year, as we've said previously. But now we're seeing these investments in the EMIS technology range and the market conditions heading positively to where we are. We think our strategy that we came up with 3 years ago or so absolutely stands the test of time. In fact, I wouldn't have believed how well aligned we are with what's emerging now, because we couldn't have anticipated COVID, no one could. But this post-COVID world is data-centric, clinical insight, clinical research-centric. It's about connected healthcare. It's about putting the patient at the centre of healthcare and managing them more effectively through their journey, whether it be a digital journey, whether it be consultation, you know, whether it be video or via the telephone, to physical visits, and then on to potential treatment paths and condition paths, depending on what's the challenges in their life. So we're excited about it, and it's quite interesting. We work so hard here. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to step back to look at progress. And in my assessment right now is I couldn't be happier with where we are and what we're doing. Growth always takes time to come through. So I never want us to get ahead of where we should be, but we feel really confident over the next few years. We think we'll go from strength to strength, and we're pleased with how the team is executing and how the technology program has been executed and will continue to be executed. And really our focus now is on the use cases and monetization. So we will talk less about the technology building blocks, and we'll most definitely be focused on growth and use cases and adding value to our customers. So yeah, it's exciting, it's good, and it's, you know, I've been here just over 4 years, and it's been 4 years of real hard work from the team, building great foundations, and we see the future being bright for us. So let's see how we go.
Great, Andy, thanks for the update. Lots going on there.
Absolutely. Not a spare minute in the day, but that's okay.